welcome in. It is officially a Tuesday. It's a Dinger Tuesday, which means that if you haven't got your home run parlay in yet, what are you doing? It's 3 o'clock on the East Coast. It's noon on the left coast for at Eric Lindquist. I'm at Shander Betts. We got a lot, including free bets to get into, my friend. I'm excited. We've revamped and repackaged and repurposed the show. We have not one but two guests joining us today. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Not only that, our YouTube debut of this show. So if you guys are watching us over on the Odd Shopper YouTube channel, hit that like button so we can keep doing this. I would very much like to keep doing this. I did Lindy's Locks live when producer Jacob was in Europe a couple weeks ago. That's going to be kind of a nice thing to be mixing in as we go along here over on the Odd Shopper YouTube channel. But obviously have a bunch of goodness over on X all the time. You're doing your show over there. You're doing that here on YouTube, I believe, as well. But YouTube debut for you and I together. What a time to be alive.
Exciting. We've got the stat doctor in the house today. Jedi Modi is in the house today, which means that at the very least, one, if not two guys coming on the show are going to offer up some thoughts on some home runs. But let's do it right away, as we do each and every time as we start the program. Try to dive in to the top free plays over on Tail. All right, so we have a link, of course, below. We'll pop in all of the free plays that you can get over on Odd Shopper under Tails Insider Picks. Sean Evans, constantly active on here, threw a couple out. Will Warren, love the Will Warren. Anytime Will Warren's on the board for an over, it's awesome because you know that he's going to be out there no matter what, could get you 7 Ks and still give up 5 or 6 runs. Under the 9 in the Rays Houston. Wanted to see what else we have. Anybody else that's popping up here? There's the home run parlay, by the way, from Ferdy. Kyle Tucker, Jorge Polanco, Kerry Carpenter. Maybe we should just start there and look at a home run jack parlay from Ferdy.
Yeah, the Kerry Carpenter one has been popping all day for me. I've got him 4th on my list, but I'm having a tough time with the weather in that spot, and also Seattle, Chicago. Obviously, we texted this morning because we wanted to jam some Jorge Polanco 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. I mean, Julio's sitting at 2.5, but the weather is just auspiciously bad up there with the wind blowing in. It's cold as fuck. Not a ton to love as far as the game environment goes, but the Jorge Polanco number is broken against a guy. Bryce Wilson has a 2.48 whip against lefties this season. And Jorge Polanco is primarily, I mean, he's a switch hitter, but this season he's been very much struggling from the right side. In fact, he had Mitch Garver pinch hit for him yesterday when they brought in a lefty. So I want to at least let that be known. That's a concern that can maybe go forward, but it's kind of baked into the number. And the number, I think, is just straight out broken. So Jorge Polanco, I like from a hits plus runs plus RBIs perspective. Long ball, it's not looking very nice there in Chicago today. I'm inclined to stay away. These are some short numbers. I mean, the Cal Raleigh number is insanely short.
Look at that.
I might actually have to go on to like Novig Profit X and post a couple because I really don't see a lot of balls leaving the stadium in that one. Might actually take some under action.
All right, look at this. Top NBA bet from Lay the House.
Okay.
All right. Rob over here does a fantastic job. One of our OG cappers who has been here from day one, by all means. And he's on, let's get back to this WNBA.
Caitlin Clark quadruple double?
No.
Okay.
Kelsey, I mean, this is probably the best time to fade Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese the next time she plays, too.
Yeah, I'm betting the under of her rebounds. So
me too. That popped on PEV. Yep. Kelsey Mitchell over 16.5 points. She went over this 15-20 home games last season, only played 30 minutes in a blowout against the Sky, still got 15 on 6-12. I love it. I mean, look, I'm going to bet it. All right. This is our number one. I'll mark these down here. Right?
I'll say one thing about this, especially in the WNBA, even more so than the NBA. There's turnover in the NBA, but like there is tons of turnover this season in the WNBA, and comparing previous seasons to this season is just, I'm not going to say it's foolish, but it's definitely a stretch because, I mean, look at all the new pieces in Indiana. Look at the expansion team in Golden State. Look at Atlanta. And this is the first year that I'm actually building out some WNBA stuff. just because I've just had too many sharp people tell me how much money they're making, and it's about time I made some of that.
Yeah, I
Um,
would agree.
I'm up like $200 on WNBA through like 4
Good
days.
start.
So I'm okay with that. It's
Yep.
profit, but nothing substantial yet. Haven't had like a breakaway day. Haven't had anything over like a 5% ROI in a day yet, but I very much like the WNBA streets more than I have in the past.
Appreciate you all here in the comments as well. A lot to get to. So we need two more free plays. And speaking of the WNBA, we're going to go over to Portfolio EV real quick and have some fun before we bring in Matt and the stat doc. Sounds like a pretty cool, like that's not a cover band. That's better than a cover band. Matt and the stat doc is like, it's a step up from like a Toad the Wet Sprocket, right? Like that could be a legit name of a band.
You're
Matt
talking
and the
to the
stat
wrong
doc.
gender. I'm old. I'm not that old, Aton.
What, Toad the Wet Sprocket?
I have no idea what that is. That
Me neither.
sounded made up.
I just pulled, brother. If you played right now the most famous Toad the Wet Sprocket song, I wouldn't know it if my mom composed it. Like I couldn't tell you anything at all. It was just one of these random band names that I thought I could pull out. I don't know their music. I don't even know what genre music they are. Do you?
No, it sounds like Irish folk or something.
No,
But
it's probably like fake grunge, some shit like that. All right, CDR
you're
betting.
fake grunge.
I am. Look at how I'm dressed here. Over 31.5 points for SGA. This is from CDR betting. Are you biting here?
I built out NBA projections today. I don't know why, because I haven't bet anything outside of Naz Reid so far. Is there anything you do like from this game? Because there's nothing that I really like outside of just the opportunity for Naz Reid to potentially play more. He played a ton in these Oklahoma City spots during the regular season. We had the home and home, but Randall was out for a lot of it. It's really hard to assess some of the injuries on both sides playing without Chet. Chet only played one side of the back-to-back. I mean, those were insane home back-to-backs that they ended up playing against each other this season. But like,
yeah,
SGA looks pretty efficient. I've got him at 30.2. So yeah, I'm not going to be playing this.
No problem. The one that I do like, and I'm just looking around here. Here you go. I mean, I think the guy to target, and I'm just curious. I'll give you mine real quick because that was a free play that I gave out. It won't pop here, but any interest in buying the 9 boards from Chet from Bow Betting?
So Chet went nuts on the glass last series. That was something that a couple of sharp people that I pay attention to were on quite a bit. I don't know about this series yet. It seems like a little bit of a cop out because like you don't want to be late to the party. It's game 1. We'll see kind of how everything adjusts. But like Randall, Nas, Gobert, even with the addition of Isaiah Hartenstein, I mean, Chet Holmgren, and this is now the time of year where I guess you can kind of unleash him on the glass and he gets a little bit more utilized. But
maybe this is
a very different matchup than Denver. I mean, we're going to get some slower pace. We're going to get fewer possessions. We're going to get some interesting stuff, I think, on both sides. I mean, I'm just looking at my pace stuff that I updated for this, and it's so hard to envision. Like,
this is the one, right?
Yeah, Chet 9. I have him at 9.1. What's he at?
Well, I'm saying 8.5 is pretty efficient.
Oh yeah, SGA 44.5 would be the path of anything. Like again, it's tough to want to go crazy shorting him. Plus the assists, right at 7.5 for me, 5.5 rebounds, 13. I've got this pretty close to efficient too. I mean, I don't see a lot of value in this first game outside of like if you think DiVincenzo or Nickeil Alexander-Walker walk into more minutes, maybe you see a blowout. Like I'm a Timberwolves fan, so I'm the worst person to ask, but Oklahoma City is definitely 7.5 point favorites for good reason in this spot. Do you see, Isaiah Joe's kind of been removed. It's been more Cason Wallace, more Aaron Wiggins. Like there's maybe something there as you're kind of going through like outlier scenarios or you go to some of these alt lines, but I don't see anything a ton.
All right, so we'll add that. And then the last one here to look at, I think, is Dr. Chow and his crew at SIC Picks, Sports Injury Consultants. Dodgers lane 1.5 tonight. Do you have any objections to this being our third play?
Nope, that's our third play.
Okay.
I get it. Like I'm looking at also some like simulations across the industry for different stuff, and I'm seeing like 1-3, 1-2, and I just could not disagree with it more. Yoshi compared to Ryan Nelson, it's day and night. It's like it's completely fabricated situation here. Whatever you saw yesterday, just remove it from your mind. Although I'm going to lose sleep again. The fact that Josh Naylor had two like 117 mile per hour balls off the bat and didn't get over 1.5 total bases for us at plus 145 yesterday, plus 150. I still want to scream. I want to scream.
So we're going to scream, but the opposite way. StatDoc MD and Matt Moda are going to join us in seconds. But in keeping the clock, because I know people are watching to make sure that we're sticking to what we've laid out, and rightfully so, because you and I both have the propensity, if you will, to go a little long. Let's rock this out. So we're going to go right away. This is right from Portfolio EV. So as Eric was talking, right, I just put this together. There's no analysis, nothing along those lines. We're simply beating market on each and every one of these individually. So I'm in this game, Alicia Gray under 2.5 threes, because I already got Caitlin Clark in there. Right now, we're going to get taxed a little bit on the same game parlay process. But if you've got a boost, if you've got something you can do, by all means, we're going to run this here on FanDuel. Now, when this hits, we're going to have a little something special here for you. It's part of the PEV process. But I mean, look, I got a 25% profit boost. All right. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to use this on a 25% profit boost. We're still way under what this should be. But once this hits, we're going to have something special here. All right. We're locked in. You good with that?
Yeah, I'm very good with it. Also, I saw some big numbers. Caitlin Clark, again, I'm just shorting her all over the place today, it seems. It is what it is. We're ready to rock.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, we're ready. Let me just drop us at the very least here. We're ready to go. Is that the one you prefer? Because look, StatDoc's head is cut off. All right.
How about that?
Jeez.
Expert producer over here. Expert producer.
Gee whiz, as they say. All right, look. Pete Shepard says right away, and we'll throw this out to the crew here, okay? Because we've got two of our strongest cappers, two of our crowd favorites here, in Matt Modi and the Stat Doctor MD, and we'll promote the heck out of everything there. We'll run by that. That's, by the way, is our same game parlay that we put together via the tools there, Portfolio EV. Have either of you guys heard of Toad the Wet Sprocket, or is that just like completely out of left field?
I have.
That's out of left field for me.
Who has? Modi?
Yeah, I mean, come on, it's 90s alternative rock. That's right in my wheelhouse.
It's my wheelhouse, but we apparently grew up on different wheels. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I've never heard of Toad the Wet Sprocket in my life.
Like, that was the first time you heard the name of that band in your life?
First time I've ever heard the name of the band in my life. And I listen to an egregious amount of music because basically I'm just out here in my cave all day, building out, originating, and then following market base and just doing whatever I can to get bets down. And like, I don't have this on my radar whatsoever. Never even heard of them.
I feel
StatDoc's in the same boat.
I feel like you would recognize some of their more popular songs. I think.
Did your parents listen to that? Is that like is it like a rite of passage thing?
No, my parents. No, not for me.
No, it's no rite of passage. I think it's just a matter of we can't play anything on YouTube because they'll kick us off. So before we were just slumming it, right? Like Twitter only. And that's where we could put out whatever we want. We could watch whatever we want, listen to whatever we want. But I'm with
under the protection of Elon, it is what it is.
I think it was like that beforehand, but yeah, it's probably carried over to ownership here. I think StatDoc had the most organic answer though to it, which is just like you, Lindy, where you guys just haven't heard it. Pete Shepard saying that we're not 23 years old, so therefore we should know this. Modi is he's out there. Like, he's into a lot of different shit. So I'm not surprised that he knows like word for word their top 3 hits. What's up, fellas?
What's up? Made it sound like, yeah, I'm into stuff that doesn't involve just like Pokemon and Star Wars and sports. It's like, it's nothing weirder than that.
It's good stuff.
All good.
Stat Doctor, if you had to say like, what's your pop culture of choice? Like DGen TV, DGen music, what are you going to?
DGen music. That's a tough one. Honestly, if I get in the car, I'm just turning on the DJ on Spotify and just letting it rock. That's usually what I go with. Whether it's like you've listened to this artist 7 times in the last month or something. I just kind of let the AI choose for me and go from there.
Okay. Natalie Imbruglia showing up. Yeah, there you go.
Look at this. Now, right away, free play here from the stat doc. Play of the day. Ryan Weathers, more than 4.5 Ks. You've got this plastered, my friend, right here on the free picks page.
You're welcome. I was actually like in the stage. I'm like, you know what? I need to pick my play of the day. And I came up with it, not just because I'm a Marlins fan, but it sounds bad at plus 300, but I just like it. I don't know. He's over in 3 of his last 5 and they're at home. So I take Weathers to get 5Ks tonight.
Yeah, it's such an interesting thing with this Cubs lineup. You have to be so sensitive to how the lineup rolls out, but you got Suzuki, you've got Bush, you've got Swanson. I'm just kind of going through the lineup here now to kind of double check because I haven't touched Weathers yet. I definitely had him on my radar, but it was dependent on the way that lineup was going to roll out because I think Ian Happ expected back today, which doesn't exactly help things. Just you get one of those dudes up at the top of the lineup that isn't going to strike out as much. You're also going to get Nico Horner, who's unstrikeoutable, apparently. But with Ballesteros now getting sent back, that dude legitimately never strikes out. He's at like a 5% strikeout rate on the season, or 6 last time I looked. So, yeah, it was definitely one of those spots where I wanted to see the lineup roll in for the Cubs before I pulled the trigger, but I definitely lean over with you.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah.
That's the way I thought about it. I love it. I love it.
Where is that? That's which spot is that, by the way?
What are you talking about?
Like, where can you bet that?
Yeah. Like, where are you betting this?
I found that
Underdog. I saw Underdog had it as like a plus sign
next to it. I wish.
Yep.
I found it on Prize Picks, but I was just on DraftKings, and they have it at plus 300 for over 4.5.
Nice.
So it's good for plus money.
Wait, what? Plus 300? No.
300?
No way. That would be absurd.
Wait a second.
Pretty good.
No
way.
Are
we sure about that? 5K. What was his over under initially? 3.5?
I thought it was at 4.5 the whole time. Let me double check this because
we're gonna have to jump on this.
These are important things. Otherwise, I would just like unload the clip if something changed. He's minus 105 on the over.
Unless I just read something wrong somewhere, which I probably did.
I do think that it's still an advantageous pick'em square, even though you're looking.
Oh yeah,
man squares worth of minus 135, something of that nature. You can still originate. Like from an origination perspective, I think Ryan Weathers definitely has a lot of merit, but I didn't see the Cubs lineup roll in yet, and that was kind of the main thing to pay attention to is exactly who the hell was going to be in it. And I'm assuming PCA gets sent down to like the 6-7 hole against a lefty now, with Ian Happ back, but you could even see him far down as 8 and 9. And obviously that's somebody who, as good as he is, and as much as, I've accepted him as my Lord and Savior, he's right around a 25% strikeout guy.
Yeah. Struck out 3 times yesterday. I think 2 of them were against a lefty.
Yeah. I was on Tucker. I saw you were on PCA. It was just painful. It was just painful watching those two yesterday. Like legitimately not remotely competent against nobody, It was hurtful.
That's the thing. I knew the only reason why you had a track on his Ks, Modi, is because you had him to go yard, right?
Oh, of course, yeah. I guess Edward Cabrera started, but I thought they put in a lefty at that. Maybe I had that misremembered.
That was the best version of Edward Cabrera I've seen in a long time because he has stuff that will dance from time to time, and you go to his stuff plus, and it's just like he gets behind and counts, and then he gets drilled. Nope, just completely steamrolled them front to back the whole way. It was absurd.
Do you have a jack for us, Matt? Just one. It could be a free play. You could take us behind the paywall. I know you've got stuff on YouTube. You're constantly putting things out. You've got probably 6 home run bets between your own stuff, YouTube, and slop and everything else that you're doing. Do you have one that you can share with us?
Yeah, my favorite one I'd probably say is Kyle Stowers. I always mispronounce his last name.
That's a day after guy.
We got the Marlins fan here. Marlins fan. It's Stowers, right? Stowers.
It's Stowers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stowers. There we go.
Yeah. So I didn't have him yesterday, thank God, or else I would be beside myself. He had 402-foot double, 108 miles per hour off the bat, 23-degree launch angle. I mean, that's picture perfect. That should be a home run 10 times out of 10. And then he had another flyout that was 105 miles per hour off the bat, 39-degree launch angle, probably just a little bit too much under it. But 2 of those, the fact that he had 2 of them in one game, one of those should clear a fence. Second in the MLB in total barrels over the last 10 days. Over the last 14 days, the last 2 weeks, he's got 10 barrels. Only Ohtani has more. going up against Jamison Talon, whatever his last name is.
Tyon, right?
I said Tyone, and then Slop said something different. So I'm calling him JMO.
What does Chris Russo call him? That's what I'm going to go on.
The guy's getting absolutely rocked, especially by lefties. I think he's given up 6 home runs to lefties in his last 5 starts. He's just been getting annihilated in Kyle Stowers just been hitting the crap out of the baseball. And he seems like one of those guys where if he's going to hit 1, he's going to hit 2. So you might as well sprinkle the 2 home run. But I just took the 1, and it was plus 500.
Got it. Plus 500. That's not bad. So Stowers, again, he was a popular one yesterday. So it's going to be the day after. But this is a good read, too. So it matches. It's always nice when it's like the read matches what you have going on. Are either, because I know Eric and I, we were talking about it earlier, we're going to build a parlay before we get out of here. But just looking back at some of these free plays from earlier today, are either you guys, Matt, Stat, are either you guys looking at the NBA tonight, like anything specific in the game, or are you focused on so many other things that this is kind of just like in the backdrop?
Go ahead.
There's a lot going on, obviously. I mean, and I'll give a huge shout out to my guy Inferno on this one, but he put me on to Julius Randle over 19.5 points, which is right there from Sandbox as well. So a lot of people are on that, and I'm right there with them.
Oh, this is a good one here. Randall and Sandbox, you're right, had this. So Randall 20 plus minus 110. I mean, this guy has just elevated his status. I would say this is Lindy's wheelhouse on his team, but you got to be pretty thankful of what you're getting now versus maybe what the concern was what you'd get from Randall heading into the playoffs.
My concern is that it strikes midnight and he turns back into a pumpkin against OKC. That's the biggest concern I have. I was pretty vehemently against the trade when it happened, and I'm not even a cat guy. Like, I wasn't even a cat stan. I would love to be wrong. I just love being wrong when it comes to Minnesota sports because, like, I'm usually right, and it's usually a disaster. It's pretty easy to just kind of say, oh, well, we're going to win every game, and then we're going to lose in the first round of the playoffs because that's the way the Vikings go about their lives. Oh, the Twins? Yeah, we're going to finish with, 15 games above 500 and finish 4th in the division because Cleveland and Detroit, and everybody's just going to, steamroll. And so for Minnesota sports, I'm kind of used to the negative. So Julius Randle over 19.5. I'm seeing minus 113 best available. So a little bit of decent stuff there. And it's minus 135 at BetMGM where this one was placed. So I think that's some really, really nice value for the people there at Sandbox.
I wanted to bounce this one back. I got burned on this last game. I still think there's some viability here. I mean, Holmgren had 13 points before everything was just shut down in the final frame because they were up by 1 million. He was 0 for 3. He missed 3 wide open shots, like to the point in which either they knew something, Denver knew something. It was just like, we're letting this guy shoot, or they were just so far behind on rotation 3 separate times, but they were wide open shots. He's going to get looks. I would think he takes 3, maybe 4 at least, if we're talking about consistent volume of minutes and not expecting them to blow out Minnesota by 35 again. This was the one that caught my eye. If you can still get this north of like plus 160 for him to knock down 2 shots, knowing he's probably going to get 4, maybe 5 looks, depending if he's playing the allotment of minutes. I don't know. Something that jumped out at me.
Matt, anything you've got for this game? Because, for me, I have a Naz Reid play, a small play on 16.5 PRA for him, just in the hopes that somehow he kind of slides in. It just seems like he walks into more playing time against some of these teams that try to go smaller. I think OKC is going to probably unleash more of the Caruso starting the second half type units as opposed to Isaiah Hartenstein all the time and get Gobert off the floor. But anything you like from this game? Because I have a tough time with it.
Yeah, I took Ant over his rebounds plus assists.
That's a great. Yep.
It's minus 112, I think, on FanDuel when I got it. And it's kind of shifted from there. Like, I saw it down to minus 108 when I checked this morning. So a little bit of negative CLV, but granted, slightly. There's two things. If you look at Ant in the playoffs over the last 2 years, consistently over 11.5. And it makes sense, right? You play more minutes. You're just a little bit more engaged. And the thing with Ant has always been get the ball out of his hands, right? He's not great if he's pressured, double teams, stuff like that. He's been really good the last 2 years at dealing with that. He doesn't quite have like the malfunctions where the turnovers the last 2 years. And This year, the number in the playoffs, 7 of 10 games going over. One game he missed was a game where he hurt his ankle, played 33 minutes. That game ended up being a blowout anyways, even though he did return for the second half. Last year, he did it in 11 of 16 games. And he actually did it in every single game that wasn't against the Nuggets. Now, obviously, different year, different matchups, just kind of showing you his history in the playoffs. The biggest reason why I like it is the matchup against the Thunder. It's a good matchup for his rebounds. It's a good matchup for his assists. The Thunder are among the best teams in the NBA, stopping pick and roll ball handlers, stopping guys in isolation. They'll let players shoot corner threes. That's like part of their defense. Is they're incredibly aggressive and frenetic. It leads to a lot of turnovers. Like the math equation in their mind says we're going to get enough turnovers to make it work, but it means they give up a lot of assists to these number one guys like Ant. And he hit this in, I think, 2 of 3 games. I forgot to write down the exact. I can look it up for a second, but he hit it in 3 of 4 games against the Thunder this year. And in 2 of them, he had a double-double. And in one of them, he had like 13 rebounds. So you just expect a guy like Ant, who's not, I don't think scoring is going to be easy to come by for him in this series. So yeah, in 3 games against the Thunder this year, he had 14, 17, and 21 combined. The over-under is 11.5. And in the one game he missed, he had 9. So he did have a one tough game in there. But yeah, so I just thought that the RA was a good look for Ant over 11.5.
I will say the tough part for me there is also Gobert didn't play in either of those OKC games. He was dinged up. And so it's just like, I have a tough time, but I will say 11.5 is so low that I don't care. Like that
it's been 12.5.
Really good. Yeah. I mean, 11.5 there in Prize Picks, 12.5. I mean, that is outrageously good value to get. So I'm there with it. Again, I just don't know what the Gobert Naz Reid split is. Cause it was just basically all Naz for the 2 games there. And it was a back-to-back where you played in Minnesota, followed by playing in OKC. And they were both just outrageous game scripts, like outrageous. Yeah. One team was up 20, comes back, ties it up. We were down 20 in OKC. We come back and win the game outright. Both road teams win, both of them. I mean, that's the thing about small sample sizes, but like Ant is going to play more than he did during the regular season. You have to project him that way. You have to project all of these guys to potentially, be at the tippy top of their range to do everything they can. And, those are some hustle stats in the rebound category come this time of year as well. And I trust Ant's going to be out there motoring.
Yeah. I'm curious. Yeah. I mean, wow, this has already dropped to 25.5. It was 26.5.
All right.
Actually, I think it opened at 27.5, right? His points, Ant's points. But just looking at what type of correlation you would get.
Caruso, man. I value Caruso so highly. I have forever. Since, like the bubble was really like oh shit, I'm absolutely shorting everybody in the playoffs who's getting guarded by Alex Caruso. And obviously there's a lot more pieces on OKC that they can rotate through now. He's still the guy you want playing this time of year. Like you don't need to play him against Philadelphia when you're up 30 in the third quarter, but playoff time, you want to play Alex Caruso 30 minutes. You just do.
By the way, Edwards under 25.5 points, over 11.5 assists and rebounds is plus 250. Now that's on 365, so you can bounce around and see if you can find a better number, but that's not that bad.
No.
I mean, again, like, doesn't that correlate, right? He's going to have 2 of the best defenders in the NBA rotating on him, from Lou Dort to Alex Caruso. They're going to do everything they can to limit him. We've already seen what's happened. Sean Evans is on this, and we'll see where Lindy goes. Maybe he's saving it for the parlay before we get out of here. But we've already seen like 3 at least Wolves benefit from what happens when you put the clamps down on Ant. He'll facilitate, he'll pass. And then you mentioned, Matt, the advantage that he has on the glass. Just saying, like, that's a nice little quick 2-leg, 2-hitter, if you will, at plus 250. Maybe you can find a better price.
Yeah, they talked me into stuff that I didn't know that I like, that I definitely like now. And I will say, it went well for last time that I just bet money on something Matt told me to. So we got good juju going from Saturday, the Jackson Holiday Fest.
Jackson Holiday, yeah.
So, much appreciated.
Look at that. Do either of you guys, is anything else that you're looking at that's not typical, right? Like, Stat, you laid some stuff out tonight. You got the free play with Ryan Weathers, Modi with the bomb, also looking at the NBA. Is there anything in the WNBA? Is there anything that you're looking at in golf? Is there anything that you've bet in, professional lacrosse that we should know about, right? Because I think a lot of getting to know you guys and knowing what you do on the day-to-day, and also having each one of you on previous shows and loving you guys, It's also just about, okay, what you bet, your process, what you're going to get here on the Discord, packages that we all have available for tails. But every now and again, right, if you are stretching out, every now and again, if it's just a lotto that's not a typical home run lotto. So if there's no answer to that, that's fine. But I am always curious in the summer, right? Maybe it's KBO. That's a popular one overnight. Come on, Stat. It's hard for me to think that you're not delving into the KBO streets.
That is my biggest hit on a parlay to this day is on KBO. So I probably need to get back into the streets a little bit with it. That was, I think, back in like September or October when I was just getting started with this. I'm like, I'll dive into KBO. Oh, I went 6 for 6.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I got to go find it. But it was like one of those 25x at 25. This was like October.
Oh my! So that was end of last season.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Far more recent than I was expecting to hear KBO talk. Because I mean, during the pandemic, you didn't have a choice. I was betting on KBO. I was staying up till 2:30 a.m. every night, just letting
your time 2:30 a.m. West Coast time.
Oh yeah, 2:30 a.m. West Coast time. That was like, it was like 1:30, 2:30 was like the start time. I can't remember. It was one of the two. Pretty routinely for KBO out here, and your boy caught it almost every single day during the pandemic. Because what else was I going to do?
My favorite thing about betting the KBO, and I'll give a shout out to Lisa Marie, who's one of our other cappers here on Tails. She'll put this out. It'll be like, like 11:30 or 11 o'clock, whatever at night, right? I've already passed out one time because of the young kids, and I just, I'm old and washed, what have you. So I'm waking up at like 11:30 to Lindy's texts, either like, oh my God, we're doomed, or how the hell did we hit that parlay together?
Yep.
And then I'll see these tweets, which is basically like, set it and forget it, right? Just bet the damn KBO lotto and then wake up when you normally wake up and check your app. And there's no better feeling, right? Like there's no better rush than checking. I always do this. I don't know where you guys are, but if I have a bet and I missed it and I fell asleep or whatever it is, I don't check the stat. Like my tradition or superstition, whatever the hell you want to call it, method is I always check the book first, never like the box score on the StatCast.
I call that awaken cash. That's like one of my favorite things ever. Lock it in, go to sleep after, and wake up like your line of hit for XYZ. I'm kind of with you on that, Aton. I kind of just lock it, go to sleep, wake up, and then I just see if I have a notification or not. I'm not immediately going to the stats, or I'll look at the box score just to see how bad or how off I was. But I do that. Waking cash is the best.
I just never remember what book everything's on. So I just go like Pickett reels or juiced reel, whatever.
That's
just to
fair.
Figure out.
Pickett is good.
Yep. That makes it easier. It's just all over the place. I don't even want to think about the randomness
Very fair
on a daily basis. I try not to.
Very fair. All right. Who's going to screw it up? Me or Lindy? That's really the question here. We've got
very nice. I don't even know what I'm going to pick because I can't pick the Polanco one because that's just too obvious. I'm so in love with the Polanco play, but I have something else just disgusting that we're going to try out.
I can't wait. So we're going to run through his community parlay. Both of these guys are familiar with the process. If you're new to the show, watching on the Odd Shopper YouTube channel, we always appreciate it. You can hit the thumbs up button by all means. As we're going to be here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3 o'clock Eastern. But we're going to build a parlay here, and we're going to end, of course. Normally, we have some video or some piece of imaging to take you behind the wall here, of what they call it, to start things off, right? Like our free plays and other things. In this case, we save it to the end. So we can start, right? If you guys want to start, let's start. Matt, if you have a play first, we can go with you. Run whatever you have. If you want to throw a long shot dong in there to minus 300, no home run, whatever you want, anything in between, it's your world.
Yeah, I'll stick with the good juju. I'll go back to Jackson Holiday. He was another one guy that I had to hit a home run. The odds on him have been kind of wild. Like it was 625 and I locked it in. Then it went up to like 680. I think it's now down to 650. I think that's at DK if that's still the case. So yeah, I mean, why not go back to Jackson Holiday? He's already come through for us before.
So just to be clear here, we've got a 4-leg parlay that we want to give out to the people, and with hopes of hitting and giving back to the people. And you're going to roll the home run into this, right?
I was going to roll.
You said I could.
You can do whatever you want. I'm just. double checking. I love you. I absolutely love you, man.
We're about to bet Bryce Harper double plus 280 at Bet365. I don't understand that number. Bryce Harper 280 in Coors to get a double.
Is that the one you want? We haven't even got to you yet.
No, I should do the Polanco one.
You've got your own video. We got to get to all that first. You can't jump the line.
No, I'm done.
Come
I'm done.
Come on. All right, Stat, what you got, brother?
I'm sticking with my play of the day. Weather's over 4.5 Ks.
That's a great one. That really is. And look, so is Jackson Holiday, especially because he's been the magic man by all means. But
that he has
4.5 Ks. So let me just add that real quick on the Marlins. I'm just curious to see where we're going to be. And when this sucker hits, my goodness, we're going to have to run some sort of flash sale for you guys combined here because this is going to be just monstrous. All right, Ryan Weathers. We'll get the K in here. For me, I was going back and forth from baseball, especially looking over at Coors Field, and I saw our pal Joey B, who's on the ground, boots on the ground out there in Colorado, saying about the wind blowing in. I also think, though, that we saw that last night. The wind was blowing in. You had 3 guys, including 2 guys in the back end of the lineup, go yard. So that's not something that would necessarily be a massive deterrent. I think I'm going to take advantage of the fact, and I think it was Lindy who brought this up. I think I'm going to take advantage of the fact that Alex Caruso is just going to be out there a little bit more and that he's just going to be relied upon to carry a little bit more minutes, especially from a defensive standpoint. 2 threes is plus 120, I found. Again, you can shop that line where you'd like, but we know that him being out there from a defensive standpoint, he's going to get a couple of looks from 3. So I'll add Caruso at 2 threes at plus 120. All right. So far, just to recap before we bring in the man here. Jackson Holiday over 1 jack. Ryan Weathers over 4.5. I'm sorry. Jackson Holiday over 1 dong, right? 1 plus dong. That's Modi. We got to get the terminology right. Ryan Weathers over 4.5 Ks. Alex Caruso, 2+ made threes. Look at Stats. Stats like, I forgot about that video.
I did.
He had nightmares. Like, that is a look. Somebody go back and look at the video. As soon as we come back from that clip, Stats' face is like, holy shit, I forgot about that video. I had nightmares about it for like at least a night. And now these bastards brought it back.
I just got to come on here more often. That way I'll remember it.
Yeah. I got to tell you one thing. It really... I want to say something about Aton, but it's fine. You're loved. You're loved. All right. So I'm going to just throw out 3 and you can kind of pick what you want, Aton, because I hate you.
Wait a second. We can't do that. Come on.
No. Bryce Harper, we're not going to go plus 280. We already have the long shot dong, Jackson Holiday, which would make me very, very happy. I'm going to tail that one, obviously, yet again. Didn't play it yesterday. Happy to go back to the well today. I don't see this Jorge Polanco number making any sense to me. 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. Julio Rodriguez is at 2.5, a lineup spot below him. He has protection of JP Crawford at the top of the lineup, which really, really matters for this bet. And then you've got Cal Raleigh, who can obviously, if you get a single out on base, he can knock you home pretty easily. He's 3rd on my list for most likely to dong. So there you go. I really don't see a planet where he should be inside of minus 145, minus 150 in this spot, let alone inside of minus 125, minus 118. When I posted it to Discord, I got it at minus 120. I think it was minus 120 over at Bet365.
Dude, he's down to minus 110 right now on 365.
Yeah, this is just weather risk. Like, there's some kind of weather risk that exists, but I don't think it looks that bad to me. Like, as far as like the game playing, it looks like it's going to rain a lot, and then it should be pretty clean as long as they late start. So if they late start this game, I think you're going to be in really good shape. And while it's awful hitting weather for, by any means with weather, books get to look at weather too. That's part of the trade, is that I don't think they're not pulling up their weather reports on a day in, day out basis. And so you're running numbers with it already being a difficult game environment. the protection here and the Bryce Wilson matchup is just like as good as it gets. You followed up by, I don't have a single White Sox bullpen member part of the top 120 in Major League Baseball so far this season. Bryce Wilson has a 7.90 expected ERA, but the Big E, I brought this up a little bit earlier, 2.44 whip this season against lefties. What are we even doing here with any lefty, let alone one who's hitting the ball as hard as Jorge Polanco this season, being inside of being minus 110 for this number? It makes no sense to me whatsoever. My favorite play of the day by a mile.
All right, there we go. So we're locked in, and there's Polanco just to that point. This is, you can shop. This is plus 57.13. Modi with the holiday dong. Weathers 5+ Ks from the stat doc. Caruso 2+3s from Shander Betts. And then Polanco 2+ hits, runs, RBI from Eric Lindquist. I think, honestly, that does it, folks. Let's go one more time through the carousel here. Jedi, Stat Doc, Lindy, all here available for you on Tails, but we'll let them tell you, of course, where you can find them and everything else they're doing. Matt, let's start with you, because I know that it's not just Tails. You're active. You're doing stuff with Slop. You're on your own YouTube. So where can we catch not just your plays on Tails, but more content?
Yeah, everything is out free some way or another, either Twitter, depending on if I get a YouTube video out or not. So I would just say Twitter, you're going to get everything you need there at Jedi Modi. I refuse to call it X, just not going to do it. So yeah, we'll go with Twitter.
It's fine.
Elon doesn't like that either, so just let him.
Stat Doc, same question for you, my friend.
Of course, you could find me on Tails, but my platform most active on is the Bird platform, X, Twitter, whatever we're wanting to call it. I post everything there, and we have the Discord as well. It's free forever. StatDoctorMD.com will take you to all those places.
There you go.
And last but not me. So that hello. You said you were giving everybody the assembly line, and then you didn't want to let me log off.
I said last but not least, and then you stopped. You assumed that I wasn't going to you.
It cut out for a second. I'm an idiot. I'm Eric. Hello. Better known as Lindy over on X. You can follow me there. And obviously in Tails here, Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks every single evening during the week. That is basically all I got for you. And also these guys, fantastic. Between Stat Doctor, who helped me cash a nice prize picks card last time he was on, and between Modi, who bailed me out on what would have been an 5 day in the home run department. Really appreciate both of these fine gentlemen.
We've got links below. If you're watching on YouTube, you can sign up over there for Eric Lindquist. You can sign up for Matt Modi. You can sign up for the Stat Doc, Jedi Modi. You can sign up for everything, including, of course, our WNBA PEV parlay that we pulled. We'll see if that hits. Our top 3 free plays, just to run it back for you real quick today, came, and this was before, of course, the Stat Doc's free play, but that counts as the play that he gave out. We went Kelsey Mitchell over 16.5 points, SGA under 44.5 PRA, and Dr. Cho's LA Dodgers -1.5 on their -1.5 on the run line. All right, fellas, appreciate everybody being here. Free picks page is right there. Tails Insiders picks. Go to free picks. We will see you tomorrow.